Hello everyone, hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we'll follow Jack, Tu Tien and little Anna through a magical Sunday at the zoo and aquarium, where simple family moments feel like a hard-won miracle. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next episodes. Sunday morning slips into the bedroom with the sound of tiny feet. Jack is half asleep on his side when a small weight crawls up the blanket and lands on his chest. Anna, 15 months old with 2 short braids, presses both hands into his t-shirt. "Bah!" she squeals. He groans, then laughs and pulls her close. Okay, the alarm clock is awake. In the doorway, Tu Tien appears in jeans and a light sweater, hair tied back. "Good morning, you two," she says. "Remember where we're going today?" Jack pretends to think. "To the sofa?" "To the zoo," she corrects. "You promised this little boss animals on Sunday." Jack presses his forehead to Anna's. "Right, zoo day. We can't cancel on the boss." Anna doesn't know the word, but she hears the excitement and kicks her legs. They move through their morning routine quickly. Jack feeds Anna tiny pieces of bread and banana while she swings her legs from the high chair, eyes following every move. At the counter, Tu Tien packs a backpack, diapers, wipes, extra clothes, snacks, water, a thin blanket, and Anna's favorite stuffed bear. She adds a light jacket and zips the bag. Jack slips an arm around her waist. "We're not taking her overseas," he jokes, "just to see some animals." "You say that now," she answers. "Wait until she throws her hat and refuses to sit." Outside, Jack's white car waits in the yard. He clicks Anna's car seat into place in the back. Tu Tien buckles their daughter in as Anna protests briefly, then gives up and watches the yard through the glass. "Today," Jack says, closing the door, "we're going on a real adventure, Kong Chua. Animals, fish, everything." They climb in, Jack driving, Tu Tien beside him. The engine hums and the car rolls out of the gate, leaving the little farm and knoll tree behind. The road to the city starts between fields and ponds, then fills with houses and shops. Anna presses her hands to the window, babbling whenever a bright sign flashes past or a motorbike zooms close. "You okay back there, boss?" Jack calls. She answers with a stream of baby talk and a grin. "It feels strange," Tu Tien says quietly, watching the scenery change. For so long it was just home, hospital, and market. Now we're taking her to the zoo like other families. Jack's fingers tighten once on the wheel. "We are other families," he says. "We just had a rougher start." By late morning, they reach the zoo. Jack finds a shaded spot and turns off the engine. The air outside smells of trees and popcorn. Distant animal calls mix with children's voices. He opens the back door and unbuckles Anna. She sits up in his arms, staring at the tall trees, banners and stream of families moving toward the gate. "At the zoo, princess," he whispers. "Today you meet everyone from your picture books." At the ticket counter, Tu Tien buys passes while Jack bounces Anna on his hip. Children rush past holding balloons. Teenagers pose for photos. Anna stares at a girl with ice cream, then at a giant giraffe poster. Inside, they follow the main path and stop at the giraffe enclosure first. Long necks bend toward a pile of leaves, tails swishing slowly. Anna freezes, her mouth falls open. "Wow!" Tu Tien murmurs. "She's never seen anything this big." Jack shifts her on his arm. "Look, Anna, giraffe, very tall." A giraffe turns its head. A moment later, Anna lets out a squeal so sharp people nearby smile. Her fingers clutch Jack's shirt. "I think she likes them," he says. They move on, elephants flapping their ears and throwing dust, zebras grazing, monkeys swinging and shouting. At the monkey area, Anna laughs every time one jumps, her own voice mixing with the noise. She thinks they're her cousins, Tu Tien jokes. They don't rush. When Anna wants to watch, they stay. Jack carries her most of the time, swapping arms when they tire. Tu Tien walks beside them, pointing and naming each animal, repeating the words softly into Anna's ear. As the sun climbs higher, they slip into shade whenever they can. Anna drinks from her bottle and nibbles small snacks from a box. Her cheeks turn pink, but her eyes stay bright. By midday, her eyelids start to droop. She rubs her face with a small fist, still turning to look back at the elephants. "Let's eat before she falls asleep on a bench," Jack says. Near the center of the zoo, they find a simple restaurant with big windows overlooking a pond. Inside, fans move slowly. The air smells of rice and fried food. They choose a corner table by the glass. A staff member brings a baby chair, and Anna sits between them, legs kicking non-stop. They order rice, grilled chicken, stir-fried greens, soup, and a plate of French fries for her. When the food arrives, Anna bangs a spoon on the table until Jack hands her one fry. She studies it for a second, then bites the soft end with full concentration. "You're really enjoying yourself today, huh?" he says, wiping crumbs from her chin. For a moment, the noise of the room fades. Tu Tien watches them and feels the knot in her chest loosen. "Thank you," she says quietly. Jack looks up. "For what? For today? For giving her this? For giving me this?" He shrugs, but his answer is gentle. "We lost enough days already," he says. "Now we make better ones." Anna drops her spoon. It hits the table with a loud clatter, and she laughs like someone told the best joke in the world. She reaches for a piece of chicken. Tu Tien breaks off a tiny bit and blows on it before letting her taste. "Slow down, Con," she chuckles. "The animals aren't going anywhere, and neither is lunch." They eat slowly, sharing food and small smiles. Sauce ends up on Anna's bib, cheeks and one braid. Somewhere between the last spoon of rice and the final French fry, her head starts to tilt. Her blinks get slower and heavier. "Someone is almost done," Jack murmurs. "She just needs a short nap," Tu Tien says. "Then this afternoon we'll take her to the aquarium." Jack smiles, already picturing her tiny hands on the glass and her eyes full of moving light. "The grand finale," he says. "Wait until she sees fish bigger than the car she came in." By the time they finish lunch, the restaurant has grown louder. New families shuffle in, chairs scrape, dishes clink. Anna leans against the side of her baby chair, eyes half closed, fingers still loosely holding a French fry, as if she's guarding treasure. "She's done," Jack says softly. "For now," Tu Tien agrees. They pay the bill and head outside. The sunlight feels softer, filtered through the leaves. Jack unfolds the stroller, settles Anna into it and buckles her in. The steady motion of the wheels over the path and the low murmur of voices around them do the rest. Within minutes, Anna's head tilts to one side, her braids brushing the stroller's fabric. "She's out," Jack whispers, peeking over. "Let her sleep," Tu Tien says. "She'll need energy for the aquarium." They walk slowly along shaded paths, letting her nap. The zoo feels different at this slower pace, less like a checklist of animals to see, and more like a small world they're drifting through. They stop by a quiet pond, watching ducks paddle lazily while dragonflies skim the surface. "It's nice," Jack murmurs, "just walking, not rushing to tests, medicines, results." Tu Tien glances at him. Feels almost unreal, she admits. He doesn't push. Some silences don't need to be filled. After about 40 minutes, Anna stirs. A small hand rubs her eyes. Her legs kick under the safety belt. She blinks up at the canopy of leaves, confused for a moment, then spots Jack leaning over her and breaks into a sleepy grin. "Hey, princess," he says. "Ready for round 2? "Fish time?" Tu Tien asks, brushing crumbs from Anna's hair. "Let's go see who lives under the water." The aquarium entrance sits at the far end of the zoo, a low building with a stylized wave painted over the door. As they approach, the air grows cooler. A poster outside shows children looking up at a glass tunnel filled with fish. Inside, the light drops. Walls glow dim blue. The air smells faintly of water and metal. For a second, Anna stiffens in Jack's arms, unused to the sudden darkness. Then she sees it, an enormous tank stretching from floor to ceiling, alive with flickers of color. Fish of every shape and size glide past. Silver schools, bright yellow flashes, slow, drifting creatures with trailing fins like dresses. Anna's mouth opens in perfect silence. "Wow," Tu Tien breathes. "It really is like another world." Jack shifts her higher on his hip so she can reach. Her small palm presses flat against the glass. A fat orange fish swims close, as if inspecting her. She squeals, slapping the glass gently. "Fish," Jack says. "Look, see? Ta, con, so many." They take their time, moving from tank to tank. In one, tiny neon fish flicker like living lights. In another, a lazy turtle floats near the surface, legs drifting. Anna whispers nonsense sounds to each new creature, as if introducing herself. At the jellyfish tank, soft bodies pulse through the water, glowing under the lights. They look unreal, somewhere between plants and ghosts. "They're beautiful," Tu Tien says, face lit by the shifting glow. "Beautiful and dangerous," Jack adds. "Like someone I know?" She swats his arm lightly, but she's smiling. The main attraction is the underwater tunnel. They walk down a short ramp and suddenly the world opens over their heads, a long, curved corridor of glass with water on all sides. Rays glide like flying carpets above them. Small sharks move in slow, powerful lines. Jack stops in the middle, turning in a slow circle. "Wow," he says quietly. "I didn't think it would hit me this much." Anna wriggles in his arms, wanting to see everything at once. He sets her carefully on her feet, keeping both hands on her shoulders as she toddles forward, neck craned to look up. Rays pass directly overhead, their bellies white, their wings outlined in light. "She looks so small," Tu Tien whispers, standing close. "Under all this?" "She is small," Jack says, "but look at her, not scared at all." Anna slaps her hands on the side glass, laughing when a school of fish darts away, then rushes back. Families pass around them, children pointing, parents taking photos. For a few precious minutes, Jack and Tu Tien almost forget everything outside this tunnel exists. It's just them, their daughter, and the slow dance of sea creatures around them. "Do you remember," Jack says quietly, eyes still on the fish, "when the only tunnel we knew was the hospital corridor?" Tu Tien nods once. "White walls, bright lights, everything smelling like alcohol." "Back then," he continues, "I promised myself that if we got through it, I'd bring you somewhere with colors, somewhere that doesn't smell like medicine." She looks at him, then at Anna. Healthy cheeks, bright eyes, face lit by blue light. Her throat tightens. "You kept your promise," she says. "Not just once," he replies. I plan on keeping it again and again. They finish the tunnel and wander through the last few rooms. A tank of tiny seahorses, another full of clownfish and sea anemones that make Anna slap the glass all over again. In a small corner shop near the exit, they pause before a display of plush toys. Jack picks up a soft blue fish with big round eyes. For her, he asks. She already has a house full of toys, Tu Tien says. And one more won't break the floor, he counters. First time at the aquarium, we should mark it. He hands the fish to Anna. She grabs it instantly, chewing on the fin. Decision made. They step back out into daylight, blinking. The sky has shifted toward late afternoon. The heat is softer now. Anna clutches her new fish in one hand, the other wrapped in Tu Tien's fingers. On the way to the parking lot, she walks a few determined steps between them before lifting her arms, demanding to be carried. Jack scoops her up, stuffed fish and all. Full day for a small person, he says. For two big ones too, Tu Tien adds. They buckle Anna back into her car seat. Within minutes of leaving the zoo, she's asleep, head tilted to one side, mouth slightly open, still hugging the toy fish against her chest. Jack glances at her in the rearview mirror. Mission successful? He asks. I think so, Tu Tien answers. Animals seen, fish admired, fries eaten, 0 meltdowns? He smiles. We did all right. The city slowly fades behind them, replaced by familiar roads and fields. As they drive, the light dips lower, painting the sky in streaks of orange and purple. The car hums steadily. Anna's breathing stays deep and even. Do you ever think, Jack says quietly, that days like this are what we were fighting for the whole time? Not big things, just this. All the time, she replies. They fall into a comfortable silence, the kind that only comes after shared effort and shared joy. By the time they pull into the yard, dusk has settled. Jack parks near the house and turns off the engine. The world outside feels suddenly gentle. Crickets starting to sing, the faint smell of earth cooling after a warm day. Through the window, Tu Tien sees the pine tree by the porch, its branches dark and still for now. Let her sleep a little, Jack whispers. I'll carry her in. He opens the back door carefully and lifts Anna from the seat. She stirs but doesn't fully wake, cheek pressing against his shoulder, stuffed fish trapped between them. Inside, they change her into fresh clothes, wipe away the day's dust and crumbs and give her a quick warm bath. The water splashes softly. She blinks, half awake, then perks up just enough to wave the fish above the surface like it's swimming. After dinner, simple rice and leftovers from the birthday feast, they step outside once more. Jack plugs in the lights around the yard. The Noel tree glows. The fence and small trees join in, casting a gentle gold over the porch. They stand together for a moment, Anna in Tu Tien's arms, leaning her head sleepily on her mother's shoulder. The new blue fish dangles from one hand. Well, Jack says quietly, for a normal Sunday, that was pretty special. For a family that almost didn't get here, she replies, it was perfect. Later, when Anna is finally asleep in her crib, stuffed fish under her arm, Jack and Tu Tien sit at the small table, 2 cups of tea between them, the muffled glow of the Christmas lights filtering through the window. No big speeches, no dramatic vows. Just 2 parents, tired in the best way, silently agreeing that this simple, full, animal and aquarium Sunday is exactly the kind of future they want to keep building, one small, precious day at a time. After a peaceful Sunday morning at the farm, Jack and Tu Tien keep their promise to take 15-month-old Anna on her first real adventure, a full day at the zoo and aquarium. Jack drives the family into the city, where Anna is mesmerized by towering giraffes, noisy monkeys, and lumbering elephants. They move slowly, letting her explore at her own pace before stopping for a simple lunch at the zoo restaurant, sharing rice, chicken, and French fries while laughing at her messy joy. After a short stroller nap, round 2 begins in the dim blue light of the aquarium. Anna presses her tiny hands to the glass tunnels as bright fish, rays, and small sharks drift by like a dream. Exhausted but happy, she falls asleep in the car on the way home, hugging a new plush fish as their perfect Sunday gently ends.